All right, so in the next part of the series here, I'm going to be continuing along beyond the dumpster over there. And this alleyway runs quite a ways down there, and when I was a kid, that was one of the scariest dogs that you ever seen. You know, the dog from the baseball movie, what's it called? You know the one that I'm talking about. Man, that dog ain't got nothing on the dogs that I used to see over there. We'll see if they still live there. You know, my friend used to live in that house when I was a kid. He had like an erector set. That was the baddest thing ever. But I'll take a look at maybe a few things. I told myself I wasn't gonna do it. I'm gonna pass by the house that I used to live when I was a kid, when I was no younger than a pup. But we'll check that out and then get down to that alley. Back when I went into the elementary school in this neighborhood, I lived right next door to this house, and the lady was like a substitute teacher. Blew my mind that I saw her one day at school as the teacher, and then later on she lived in this house right next door to me. It just blew my mind. It's one of the craziest things. I just met a cool dude. I was talking to him about the neighborhood over here. Wish I would have got him on camera, but I felt weird about asking. So I lived in this house back in like 1986 for a little bit. We just moved all over the place, so we were back and forth. But we moved into this place from some apartments after we moved here from out of state, and kind of left my mom because, you know, honestly, she had some problems and stuff like that. That's a whole nother damn story. But she came back out and gave birth to my brothers Frank and Jerry whilst we lived in this house. It wasn't here, you know, they were born at Loveless Hospital, but we lived here in this house. Beyond that little area, there's like a little utility room and one of the coolest backyards I remember from being a kid. I got pictures that I'll try and put up of this window. Me and my brother and mom sitting right here in front of this window from the inside of the house. I'll try and put those at the end of the video if I can find them. I hope I can find them, because that'll make this video pretty kick-ass to have something to go along with that. I used to try and climb this tree, and I don't have a lot of time to talk about all this kind of stuff. I could sit here all day and ramble, but my brother and I got in a fight one time in here, and I grabbed a piece of broken bottle while we were rolling around on the ground, and I sliced his hand. And it gave him like the weirdest, I mean, the biggest cut that either of us have ever seen, you know, like it was real at that point. We were really fighting. And my brother looked at me and I looked at him, and we were both just freaked out that his hand was cut. And my parents said, "What the heck happened?" And my brother never ratted me out. He was like, "I rolled on the ground, I cut myself on a," but he knows damn well that I cut him. Right next door over here, and this kid Marcus used to live here. His dad drove like one of those like 80s Dodge Daytonas. They were like cool cars back in the day. They were like the Daytona pace car, and he drove one of those. It was like midnight blue. It was one of the coolest cars. I think it's empty now. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not gonna find out. But it was empty the last time I looked over here, and they were like trying to sell it. I was like telling myself it'd be cool as hell to buy it. Honestly, I'd rather buy this house right here because I used to live here back in the day. But how dare you? This is an 81 Honda. All right. Traffic's kind of at a crawl. They're over there fixing this little thing that it's like a street that sweeps into another street. I don't know how to say it, except you're going along, and then you can either go straight or you can sweep onto Eubank. They're kind of redoing that for whatever reason. Oh shit, there's a dog over there. That's exactly what I was talking about. He's a good boy. He's a nice boy. He's a good boy. That's exactly what I was talking about. Here's Pretty nice couch right there. Just in case anybody was looking. Alright, so just a little bit less nervous than I was when I was a kid. I tell you what, I got bit by a dog when I was younger. It got me right here in the head. I was like 3 or 4 years old. I still remember that. So I don't recommend that. But so yeah, anyway, used to kind of come down this alley on the way to school a lot of times when I was a kid, or just otherwise goofing around. There's always like some crazy stuff to see. I used to feel like I was going into a time machine or something, you know? Just the weirdest thing. There'd be like old cars, you know, old tags, all kinds of stuff. I don't know, you know, if you know, if you've ever been walking down an alleyway before. See, like, you can imagine, like, if you're a kid, you see something like that. It's like, is that old man Walter's house? Died like in 1920 and now he haunts the place. I don't know, you know, these things you just make up in your mind. It's like walking down a time, through a time machine or something, you know. I'll be doing fine. It's just as long as the dog doesn't like jump the fence and come after me or something. That's a perfectly good shelf. I couldn't say that I would pay $20 for it or anything. Gosh, you know, you're just saying stuff sometimes and the camera's not even going. Oh, I'm just gonna hit my head against the wall over here. Put that camera down unless that's something that you want to see. So what I was trying to say is that fellow just passed by that I helped out here, but sometimes I say some stuff and I hope I don't come across as preachy, especially if I'm talking about my faith or something. Just kind of like to talk about the hope that I found. I hope that doesn't come across as preachy. Look at those beautiful cactus. Man, those things are really nice. I'm gonna try it different here. That's something you don't see every day, right? Unless you live in Albuquerque or some other desert. They got those in Sicily too. So anyway, you know, not just about stuff with faith, but I was going to kind of talk about something. If you've got like this ambition in you to do something like be an activist or to just go out and film videos or make social commentary, I just wanted to give you encouragement to just go for it. Been doing these videos and they got like 1 or 2 views or something like that. The odds that somebody is going to really see them and take them seriously are pretty like, they're far and few between, I guess. You know, YouTube is such a big thing now that, you know, for videos to go viral or anything anymore, just kind of, there's not any reason to think that this kind of video would just like blow up or whatever. But if you find this like quiet little video in this quiet corner of YouTube, I just want to encourage you to take a camera and walk around wherever you live. It's been like some of the coolest things. It's like one of the coolest things that I've done in a long time. I was doing it for a little while, but I was kind of in a place where I wasn't as centered on some of the things that are as important in life. And I was shooting the wrong things, and that's why some of those videos you don't see of mine on YouTube anymore, they were just dumb. I took them down, and some of the ones that are still up there go against the grain of what I am now, because I'm a vegan and so on. But I just leave them up there as a reminder of where I was. What are you gonna do? Try and erase your past? You know, there's a bunch of people taking down stuff because they don't believe. You know, they want to take down monuments, and I'm not even gonna say what. You probably know what I'm talking about, but people take down stuff and they're like, hey, I want to just erase this, you know? But how do you erase the past? You really can't, you know? So you got to kind of leave some of those things as relics there because they're a reminder of the past. And if you think that, you know, something was wrong during that time, then here's a reminder so that you don't go back, because if you don't learn from the past, you're doomed to repeat, you know, as the saying goes, you know, insert common saying right here. Anyway, that's my rag for the day here. I might put down the camera and close out this video, or you might see a little bit more footage as we're walking along. You're gonna see both of those things in no particular order, and see what else happens. Look at that alleyway. Look at those telephone poles. They look like bird homes. Normally I wouldn't be walking down the middle of the road like this, except for they're doing this construction right here. This is that kind of area where it sweeps away. They're like processing the whole thing. I think they're gonna get rid of that kind of sweep thing in there. I got a feeling about it. A bad feeling. That's kind of a cool little thing that they got down the way there at Wyoming too. It's kind of a breezeway that sweeps you in so you don't have to make a hard turn over there at the, you don't have to make a hard right. All right, I don't want you guys to get nervous or anything, but that truck behind me, it's always around, like every time I'm filming. It's just weird. I don't know what's going on with that. I wonder if the guy who owns it is around here somewhere. What the hell? Okay, right over here in this place is, this used to be a store you might remember. Should I say or no? I don't know. You know, I'm just gonna leave it there, and you could maybe tell me what this used to be. Across the road over there is a Lotta Burger. In fact, it's store number 22, Lotta Burger, where yours truly used to work. I was a manager at Lotta Burger for a while. I was like a crew lead over there, a crew member, and then a crew lead, and then an assistant, and then manager at some of the other stores around town. Pretty interesting. That's a long story. Maybe I'll tell it to you one of these times, or maybe I'll just abbreviate it. I never knew this was here. I don't know how long that's been like this. It's like a little putting green right here. Maybe I did. I think I kind of seem to recollect like seeing old guys over here like practicing their putt right here. As the legend goes, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. I always think it's funny that people like yell at each other in Albuquerque a lot. I was a really big yeller for like a long time. Man, I was yelling at my family. I just don't yell that much anymore. I think because every time I start to yell, my voice breaks out and I sound like a 12-year-old girl or something. I don't know. I used to be a yeller for like a long time. I don't know what's going on, but I just don't have the energy for it anymore. I quit eating meat and became a vegan, and I'm just not that pissed off at stuff anymore. I think eating red meat makes you mad. I'm walking along this trail here, along the, so, you know, continuing along with the alleyway series. This isn't an alleyway, but it's kind of a little trail off the beaten path here. It's along the side of this arroyo. Those arroyos were kind of cool if you like graffiti and stuff. I don't know whether it's a good thing or not, but like Albuquerque's like really on top of the graffiti now. I think a lot of it maybe incited gang kind of stuff or whatever, so. But I always like graffiti and respect graffiti artists, especially if they're tagging something cool. If it just looks dumb, then I don't like it as much. I like the ones that are a little more artistic, but you know, whatever. Here's a really nice car stereo if anybody's looking for one. This area closed down a little while back, and I wish I would have taken some more footage of it. I did take a few pictures and They're not around anymore. I don't know where they went. The reason I'm walking down here at this particular side of this arroyo is, for one, I used to ride my bike here when I was a kid, and two, I used to work right over here. My dad likes to bug me and tease me and say that I worked at every place. He's kind of right, but I think I got a lot of experience or whatever from the whole thing. So that little pink building right there, not a lot of people recognize that, maybe, I don't know. Maybe some of the old school people will understand what that is. That is the Stuffies that used to be there. Originally, it was actually a Lotta Burger, I think. It was one of the very first Lotta Burgers. Had like a walk-up area where you could order your food. And there wasn't a place to sit down inside. It was just the kitchen. It was another one of those places where I burned the heck out of myself as a kid. Making sopapillas. Over there that way is the actual bike trail. There's always a car, you know. She's in a hurry to get somewhere. That sounds really fast, but he's going like 5 miles an hour, you know. So over there's like a bike trail that I used to come down when I was a kid. They all sort of connect to each other in one way or another. And it continues along down to past Windrock Mall, which is really cool. I used to go that way a lot and hang out at the mall. It's not even there anymore, the Windrock Mall. There was a hotel on the premises. You know, like I said, a lot of places. I wish I would have got some footage, and it's too late. Just behind me there. Oh, you can't zoom in when it's like that. Just behind me there is a picture of that place that was originally a Lotta Burger. And funny enough, you know, I just showed you, but there's a Lotta Burger across the street over there that I used to work too. And I worked at the Stuffies. It was pretty good food, but to be honest, it was a pretty gross place to work. I won't even say why. It was just gross. I didn't realize that when I came out here, I was going to run into some family. It's great. I ran into my Uncle Blake. He's right here. He's not really my uncle. Anyway, yeah, this is the one that I used to work at. It's not the one that I used to work at. It's one of the ones that I used to work at. Maybe it was the first one. I don't know. It's store number 22. Used to work that drive-thru right there. And the grill. And the fryer. And the broom. All the places and different things you got to do over there. Filling up the ketchup. Numbering the bags. Wearing the paper hat. Okay. So I got to tell you my dumb little drive-thru story. That's quieting. I got to learn better than to start filming where there's traffic and everything over here. Try not to set off the Lotta Burger sign as we go along here. So 2 stories. First one, drive-thru story. I'm working here one night and this guy comes to the drive-thru and he orders like a combination of things. It's like a burger and a Coke, I don't know what, and a French fry. I don't know what combination of things that it was. But he comes around and the order totals $6.66. It's in the middle of the night. It's not the middle of the night, but it's like late at night, you know, almost closing time. And he comes around and the guy's got like a book and it looks like a Bible, but it's not a Bible. And his total comes to 666. And I'm not kidding you. The guy looked like the devil's preacher. He looked like a reverend, only with like black eyes. He looked like something that you see in a Poltergeist movie or something like that. So he comes up and to the drive-thru and I told him, it's 6. And he goes, I know, 666. And he gives me exact change. And then he pulls away. I tell my friend about it and we're like, dude, is this guy gonna come back and like massacre us? The other story that I have is there was like a van that was like parked here in this parking lot one day. And it just was there and it was like an old Ford Econoline van. It was really cool, brown, and it was just sitting there for a long time. And my manager said, I'm gonna call the tow truck company. And I was like, hey, don't call the tow truck company, give that thing to me. But somehow or never, I didn't end up getting it, got towed or whatever. And that's that story. The only other funny thing that kind of used to happen over here, on top of a lot of hijinks, you know, if you worked at places like this, you know about all the shenanigans that happen or whatever. But there was a time that I remember where a family came in and they were just staring really, really intently at the menu, trying to figure what to get. And my friend walked up from sweeping the floor or whatever, and I said, bro, these people are staring at you. And he looked up and there's like a family of 5 just looking straight at him. They're not looking at him, they're looking at the menu. And he's like, I guess he had to be there or whatever. But got a lot of memories from this place. My uncle dropped me off one time over here when they came out to visit from Washington. And he said some words of wisdom to me at that time. And I can't say them verbatim because maybe they're somewhat inappropriate or whatever. But he said, if you got to do a job like this, be the best at whatever you're doing. Even if you're sweeping the floor, or you're flipping burgers, or you're making microchips, or whatever the hell you're doing, building a house, be the best. Do your best and be your best at that. And that stuck with me for a long time. You know, it helped me as I went along in my life, doing other different odd jobs and doing different things, and some of them more accomplished. I think that I did some pretty high-end technical jobs that I went on to do, you know, after I worked here at Lottaburger. My ex-wife worked at that teriyaki chicken bowl. I can't really make out the sign. Maybe if I move over here a little bit. Oh hell, let me just do this way. Tell me when you can see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, 1 hour later, my ex-wife worked at that teriyaki chicken bowl over there, and I didn't even know her then. It's kind of funny because she worked there at the time that I worked here, I think, and we didn't even know each other. And then later on, we got hooked up and had kids and all that kind of stuff, shacking up, and we're together for like a long time, essentially like 18 to 20 years or something. You know, it's like when you do a crime and they tell you that'll be 18 to 20. I don't know what I did wrong, no. That's a bad thing to say because my kids are gonna watch this. They know where I'm coming from. One thing about doing these videos, you gotta watch that you don't walk out in front of cars and stuff. So that's pretty much gonna do it from this video. The theme of this video is dogs. It's always dogs, and they don't seem to like me very much. Just over here trying to cross the road. I'm being a dumbass. I was about to tell that person to go to hell, but it was really my fault. So the next time you see me, maybe I'll be out here shooting the green with my putters or whatever. I have to bring a ball and some putters next time. That's gonna do it for this one. I'm wrapping it up over here. I've already made like the ending in this video like 7 times, so it's just a matter of which one that I'm gonna use. I like this one though. I hope you like it too. If you do, maybe think about subscribing there. All the best to you. If you're sad, if you're feeling lonely, look for God. He's out there. That's just a little bit of encouragement, not to be trying to be preachy. And if you haven't considered it before, go vegan. It's a pretty good way to go. I love you guys. God bless. See you in the next one.